We must always really be prepared. Even when we think we're going on a short trip, maybe we're going to the store or something else, and so we don't dress appropriately. We don't put on a jacket or a scarf or anything else, and then maybe our car breaks down and we have to walk back. I went to Shippensburg University. I was in the science program there. And at that time, I had a pet corn snake that I had actually hatched from an egg in the herpetology department. And I recall going down 81 and my car broke down, and I was not appropriately dressed because it was that October, November kind of area where sometimes you get warm evenings and other times it's below zero. And so I found myself walking along the berm of 81 back to Shippensburg. I was a few miles away. But in order to keep Pangea, my snake, warm, I had to keep him under my shirt against my flesh for those few miles that I walked until a nice police officer picked me up. So we need to be prepared, even if we don't think it's going to be a long trip, even if we don't think we're going to break down or we're going to need heavy clothing, we want to be prepared. And that's what Advent is about. We're in the second week of Advent already. And sometimes we focus so much on preparing one way that we forget the other. And many of you might be stressed out about getting gifts for people and, gift exchange and all this other stuff. My piece of advice for you: let Santa Claus do it. Let him do it. He'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about anything this year. Just do that. Because when you think about it, and unfortunately I've had some brides and grooms say this to me as I'm preparing them for marriage. Father, we just can't wait for the day so it can be over with. Because it's so stressful. That's not what your wedding is supposed to be like, by the way. Come see me if you're planning on getting married. We can talk about that. But it's the same thing for Christmas. People get to the point, I can't wait till this season is over and then I can relax. Well, what kind of celebration is that? It's like a funeral when you think about it. We get all stressed out about all these things. And we are, don't get me wrong, I get into the Christmas spirit too. I will exchange gifts as well. But if we get to a point where it becomes all about that, we've missed Advent. We've missed Advent for Christmas. When we get to Christmas, we don't even want to celebrate. Advent, advenio, means toward the coming of Christ. And when Christ comes, he comes with justice. And I don't think we have a sense of justice sometimes. What justice means is not that he sees us all as the same, but he sees us all equally. He looks beyond the appearance. I had a tragedy about 2 weeks ago. My flip phone finally died. It was horrible. I actually had to go on eBay to get another flip phone to replace the flip phone I had 2 years ago. And it's just been getting harder and harder to find this. So for 2 weeks, I had to use an old phone, which had no contacts on it, because my screen went blank. I couldn't transfer anybody. So for 2 weeks, I answered every phone call I received. And yeah, sometimes it was a robocall, or it was somebody trying to get me to buy something. I was always surprised. And every text message I received, I responded to. And I didn't know who they were. So someone would say, Father, can I see you later today? Yes! And who knew who was going to walk through the door? It was actually a great adventure. It really was for a while. And I say this because in the next life, that's how we look at everybody. We might look at our caller ID and think, oh, I can't talk to you today. There's no way. Or not even Jesus could deal with you today. In the next life, we don't think that way. We are totally devoid of ego at all. We only want what is very best for the other. That's justice. So when Jesus is coming with justice, he wants us to live how we were created to live, and he wants us to see each other the way he sees us. And you can't just go into that. You don't, enter a marathon the next day without training for this. It takes some preparation. We prepare for everything in life. Why would we not prepare for the coming of Christ? That is, unless we don't want him to come. You know, when we celebrate Advent, we're looking forward to the coming of Christ not only as the little baby, we're looking forward to the time when he will return and all will be just. But think about that just for a minute. What if Jesus did return today? What if he was in Lewisburg today? And unlike, the people in the past, where Jesus appeared and they were questioning whether he is Jesus the Messiah or not, we know he is. We believe he's God. What if Jesus was among us today and we know he's God? We might lament sometimes, I wish Jesus was around today because he could work miracles like he did back then. And often with those miracles, though, came a challenge. If Jesus came here today and was present among us as God in the person that he was, what if he said, sell what you have, give the money to the poor, and come follow me? I don't know if I'm ready for that. Or if he says, like he said to the blind man, you've now been cured, don't dare go back into that city. At least don't go back to your old way of life. That you need to change. If we saw him, and would we want to have a personal conversation with him? Would we be afraid that when he looked at us, he could see right through us to what needed fixing? And perhaps tell us what needed fixing, and then we would know. We would know that he wants us to be with him one day in heaven. Now is the time to prepare for the coming of Christ. We never know how long we have. St. Paul will go on to say, we have less time now than we did at the beginning. Well, yeah, time goes on, and the end of time comes closer and closer. We know that. But you and I are all suffering from a disease called mortality. And we never know when we will succumb to that disease. We cannot wait till the last minute. As much as we want to procrastinate, this is something that is very important. And so as we approach our Lord through this Advent season, you have about another week and a half, more or less. The fourth week is truncated a little bit. And maybe we're consumed with all the parties and all the gifts and all the gatherings that we will have. And all those things are great things. It would be a great time to take an inventory. To look at our life now and ask the question, not only what would Jesus say if he came back today, but what would he want to see in me? You see, when God looks at you, when he looks at me, he sees right through us. He knows the worst thing you've ever done in your life. He knows the best thing you've ever done in your life. He knows your deepest, darkest secret that maybe you've even forgotten, you haven't told anyone so long or discussed it. It might be in that back part of our memory. He knows all those things. And yet he still wants us to be with him one day. He still thinks we are worth redeeming. So in the days ahead, and especially as you head into finals, and all these things that will be weighing on you, just take a moment. Just take some time to prepare for the spiritual, so that we might welcome Jesus not only as the little baby at Christmas time, but that we might be willing to welcome him ultimately when he comes to see us, to walk with him in eternity.